Well, everybody, that's what you want to hear, and I think that it's something that now we've been talking about what feels like forever.
Yes.
And we talked about it yesterday. There's more process of deciding where they're playing, and yes, it's until I was like, man, I'm going to be 30, turning 38 when this new stadium gets there. I don't want to think about that, but
38's young.
But it's happening, and it feels real because it is real.
That is correct, Jared. I want you to hear from Mark Lamping. He talked about Shad Khan making sure that the Jaguars did not leave Jacksonville.
And, the reason we started on it so early is that we studied those cities that had problems with their teams. And unfortunately, there have been cities that have lost their NFL teams, and they generally all have the same thing in common. It's a smaller market. The team doesn't have a lease tying them to the city, and they have an unresolved stadium problem. And Shad's commitment from the very beginning was to do everything that we could to ensure that doesn't happen to Jacksonville. We started early on. We've been spending a tremendous amount of time and resources, particularly over the last 4 years, and we're thrilled that we could turn that goal. It was a goal that Shad had and that the community shared to keep the Jaguars here in Northeast Florida for generations to come. This evening, we've turned that goal into a reality thanks to the mayor and her team.
And speaking of the mayor, here is Mayor Deegan on the fact that this is a generational accomplishment.
And I will no doubt say it is a generational accomplishment. I hope we have many more legacy items to attend to, and I think that community benefits agreement is one of them, and I hope we have a lot more of that. As I said when I was elected, my goal is to lift every portion of this city, and I think that we can do that with this agreement. I think the stadium's a big piece of that, but I think we can do it by completing the rest of that CBA. So that and I hope we have much more to accomplish.
You probably know by now that the Weavers, Wayne and Dolores Weaver, were the original owners. Shad Khan purchased the team from them in 2012 for $750 million. It's now worth in the billions, Taylor, and that's good news because the renovation is going to be $1.4 billion. We're sitting here at the Jumbo Shrimp game, and certainly just outside of this ballpark is Everbank Stadium. It's going to look so different.
So good.
In just a few years, and it is amazing to think where we have come. The fact that the Jaguars at one point were the laughingstock, and not just talking about the team moving to London, but also the fact that people thought that this team would never, ever win.
Yeah.
When you have back-to-back #1 overall picks, what does that say? That your team is terrible.
Yeah.
And no one ever thought, even with Trevor Lawrence coming here, that this team would once be a playoff team year in and year out. Certainly the Jags missed the playoffs last year. We've documented that ad nauseum. But this is about moving forward. This is about this city doing something that a lot of people never thought would happen, and that is not just getting an NFL team, but keeping an NFL team. And thanks to the City Council, thanks to Mayor Deegan, thanks to Mark Lamping, certainly thanks to the Weavers, and thanks to Shad Khan, and thanks to 1010XL for broadcasting this awesome news all day long.
I know, and it really is kind of an underrated thing that we don't mention enough of how lucky we are to have an NFL team. Do you know how many cities out there are begging and pleading? Like we have the little conversations of, okay, can an NHL team come here, an MLB team here, and it seems kind of far-fetched, but there's teams out there saying that for the NFL. Like, we just want an NFL team, and it unfortunately will not happen for every city because you can't have 5 billion NFL teams. So the being in Jacksonville, you're just so lucky to have that, number one. And when it comes to the stadium does so much, because not only to look at in 2028, when we look out at this, what we're going to see is going to be absolutely amazing, an amazing view. And I think that when you're driving downtown, if you've ever been to one of the cities that do have one of the newer stadiums, I know for Mercedes-Benz in Atlanta, when you're driving up to that stadium now, you're just like in awe of pulling up to it. Like, that looks fantastic. That looks like a place I want to go watch a football game. And to be one of those cities that we want to go because we're Jags fans, but for other people around the country to be like, man, I really want to go visit Everbank Stadium because I've heard it has this view and it has this and all the, A, B, C, D of everything that it has that other stadiums won't have. And when we were talking to Fred Taylor yesterday, he was talking about, what it was like when he was here. And he said he was jealous of everything they have now when it comes to, he mentioned the pools and stuff like that. Now it's taking a whole other level with this new stadium.
Yeah, we can also see the Miller Electric Center from where we are here just behind home plate at 1-to-1 Financial Ballpark. And certainly that is another thing that the Jaguars have put their commitment towards, and that is not just getting this stadium redone, but also adding things around it. And just a few years ago, when Lot J didn't go through, I think a lot of people thought, well, the Jags are going to leave because this city, this town, isn't smart enough to vote for things, or certainly the city council not smart enough to vote for things that benefit the Jaguars.
Or they don't care enough about the Jags. That was a lot of the talk around it. Which
and in the end, Lot J just wasn't the right proposal at the time. This is so much more than just developing downtown. This is something, like you said, there's going to be a ton of events that come there. And I want to read 2 tweets since you mentioned Friend Taylor. He tweeted this out. Congrats to the Jaguars and the city of Jacksonville on the approval of the new stadium plans. Can't wait to see our new home field. #Duval. And here's what Tony Baselli tweeted. I'm so damn excited for the stadium deal got approved last night. Thank you to the leadership of Shad Khan, Mark Lamping, Mayor Deegan, and the Jacksonville City Council, as well as the countless others behind the scenes to make sure the Jaguars and all our fans have the best. It's not just a day where we get to celebrate that we have a team. It's a day that we get to celebrate that we're going to have this team here
for a long time.
30 years past even now.
Yeah. And going back to even something you tweeted, Lauren, about, you're like, maybe it's because I was born and raised here, but I don't understand how people don't love Jacksonville. And I was thinking about that last night when this news dropped. And obviously people know I've spent a lot of time in Chicago. My family's all from there, but I've been here the majority of my life. And I always tell people whenever I'm in Chicago and they make the little Jacksonville jokes of whatever they want to do, I'm like, Jacksonville is a fantastic place, and it's somewhere I love being. There's a reason I keep coming back. I've left many times and end up coming back to Jacksonville because it's just, you posted a picture of the beach and the river, obviously. We have a river all throughout our city. You've got a beach. We have some of the most beautiful parks. You have, if you're more into like the farmland, you've got that too. We have a zoo that I'm absolutely obsessed with and love going all the time. We're at a baseball game right now on a Wednesday afternoon in the summertime. We just have so many opportunities here, and I love Jacksonville, and I think that also this having a stadium like this that does attract other things like concerts and March Madness and all of this stuff, people can come here and realize that Jacksonville is an amazing city, and it goes beyond just the one pro team that some people just kind of rag on, and eventually now it looks like they're in the right direction too. So it all is clicking at the perfect time.
Someone tweeted me like, not everyone likes to go to the beach. It's hot and sticky. Have you heard of the winter months? Have you heard of sunrise like in the morning or sundown or sunset? Like there are lots of times you can go to the beach and it's not sweltering hot, which by the way, it's a beautiful day out here at the ballpark. I did want to give a shout out to the winner of the first pitch. You heard Molly say it, Ethan Wheeler, Trinity Christian ace. He is a 2026 Florida commit, so we appreciate the fact that he was able to get here and throw out that first pitch. And I'm sure you were watching, Taylor, like I was. He did really well.
Yeah.
We didn't have to worry about a J.J. McCarthy type of first pitch.
Yeah, that was not a pretty one. I think the J.J. McCarthy one might have beat the 50 Cent first pitch. That was like 10 feet outside. We joked about it because I was like, I don't think I could do it. And you were like, well, I'll just go like halfway to the plate. You throw it to me, then I'll throw it to the
it is 60 feet 6 inches. I mean, that's a far way. And, I haven't warmed up my arm. You haven't warmed up your arm. So, we would just split it, and then it would
be Taylor has Tommy John after one first pitch.
I mean, that would not surprise me if that happened to me either.
I do want to mention real quick because we are at the Shrimp game. So the guy pitching today, Max Meyer, I was talking to Scott Kornberg before the game started. They just double play to end the inning.
Nice.
But Max Meyer is fantastic. He's one of the best prospects in baseball right now, honestly. And he was the 3rd overall pick in 2022. Ended up right away, season start, messing up his shoulder and had to miss the entire year. Last year, he comes back, immediately gets called up and is playing with the Marlins last year. Pitches really well. This year, started with the Marlins, was pitching well also, but they want to limit, because he had the shoulder injury that first year, wants to kind of limit it a little bit and not work his arm so much in the majors. So they sent him back down to the Shrimp just to do limited innings for a little while to rest his arm. But he's fantastic, so this should be a good game. They're also wearing their throwback Jacksonville Expos. I love the jerseys in general, but also that's just another aspect of like the history of Jacksonville, and it's so fun to tell some of these kind of stories, because that's another thing he was talking about. That 1987 Expos team, that 1987 Jacksonville Expos team, there was a guy named Randy Johnson on the team, by the way, and those are stories that we get to tell here in Jacksonville. The other cities just don't. Obviously, other cities with major sports have these stories too, but just to the realm of we're one of the few cities that get to talk about iconic people like this playing. We're the city that gets to talk about Tony Baselli, the Hall of Famer, playing here in Jacksonville. Many places
better be a Hall of Famer.
Yes, and Fred next.
Yes, if you were
we just got so much food.
That's right. If you were watching on the YouTube chat line, the MyBookie Digital Studio, you just saw them deliver some insane eats. We've got, it looks like some shrimp, some fried shrimp. We've also got, it looks like maybe a burger with mac and cheese on it, some french fries, some dessert fries over here, some buffalo shrimp, all sorts of really good stuff. Yeah, that's right. And I thought Leon was about to come.
He was coming to eat
and have a feast with us. We really appreciate the food and beverage services here. I mean, if you come to any sort of baseball game, you are not going to get the delicacies that they just delivered us. So we really appreciate that. And coming up at 12:30, we will chat with Noel Blaha. He is the Vice President of Marketing here with the Jumbo Shrimp and get into some of the promotions that they have. I did see that today is Splash Day, Taylor.
Oh, I saw water guns walking. I might need a little water gun fight later.
That's right. We have a ton of kids here from camps, and I know they're going to have a blast. There are certain sections that are quote-unquote dry. I shouldn't even use quote-unquote. They are dry. That way you
it's
can
like
sit there and
SeaWorld.
not
You
get
can be
wet.
in the splash zone.
Correct. So from 105 to 110, the sections right in front of us, thankfully with all of our equipment here, are dry. But over where you see a ton of the kids here at 10-10 Day, that is going to be the splash zone. So it's going to be just an
I was about to say I might make my way over there, but I also wore a white shirt, so I'm not sure.
We're going to keep you away from the splash zone. I was trying to think of the word bang bang shrimp earlier, and I couldn't. When I said buffalo, I was like, that's not the word I'm looking for. It does
Those look like buffalo, though, right?
Yeah, it does look like some buffalo, and then bang bang shrimp in a po' boy. So bang bang shrimp po' boy, and then looks like a bang bang shrimp bowl as well. And it's just an absolutely incredible spread here, and we certainly appreciate it. And also, we wanted to tell you about it, so of course we'll take some bites in the break. And let you, like I said, hear from Noel at 12:30.
I could just see if Mia was here, she'd already be eating something.
That is a valid point. Yes, of the three of us, you and I never eat during the show, during commercials. We just chit-chat, and Mia's always eating, which makes sense because when you work hard, you have a limited time a day. To get back to the Stadium of the Future, I wanted to tell everyone, in case they didn't see it on social media last night, what Shad Khan, the Jaguars owner, had to say. He said, the belief and determination of Dolores and Wayne Weaver to make the Jacksonville Jaguars a reality more than 30 years ago was reaffirmed today by the leadership of Mayor Donna Deegan, her team, and the Jacksonville City Council. The message then and now should be clear: never doubt Jacksonville.
I love that.
To me, Taylor, this is a massive day because we're just on the heels also of Trevor Lawrence signing his extension. So you already had Josh Allen locked into a long-term deal. You have Trevor Lawrence here for the long haul. You now get to just laugh in the face of anyone who says that the Jaguars are leaving. And I understand that this still has to be approved by NFL owners. It has to be approved by 24 out of the 32. But like we've heard different people say to this point, they wouldn't have gotten this far in the process and had all those renderings done and have the city council vote on it if they didn't think the NFL owners were going to approve it. So that to me is the least of everything. It was getting the mayor's office and getting the city council on board and those elected officials saying that, yes, this is a good plan for Jacksonville, just like the better plan of Jacksonville was many years ago. And the other thing, too, is we're at a point right now where people are going to talk about that 2027 season when the Jaguars play away from Jacksonville. At this point, I don't even really care where they play for that one season. They'll play games here with limited capacity in 2026. In 2027, if they took all of the games to London, at that point, I understand I don't want them to do that. But even if they did, if that made the most financial sense, okay, because beyond that, we're going to have this state-of-the-art renovated stadium. And that, to me, is the most important thing.
Yeah, I personally do care because I do think that being able to still, and I mentioned this yesterday, Trevor Lawrence prime, a team that you are in your years, your window, what I feel like is going to be the biggest window for the Jags to win. I don't want to have no opportunity to watch the team during the 2027 season personally. So if it's in Gainesville or Orlando, I will go to one of those places and watch some of the Jags games. I'm not going to London. I just can't do that. So that obviously alters some things, and I'm sure a lot of people feel that way. They don't want to take one of the probably more important windows in Jags history and miss a whole year of it.
Yeah, and they're not going to do that.
Yeah,
I was just saying more like at this point, my joy for the future outweighs anything that could happen in 2027. And I get playing even up to 3 games there is not ideal. I understand. Yeah. Fans want all the games in Jacksonville. That can't happen. So the closest, Daytona, Gainesville, Orlando, I understand all that. If they wanted to take the team to multiple cities in that season, by all means, as long as it's still, like you said, in Florida. But I understand why they have to do some of the London stuff.
And we saw you and I got sent something the other day. What was his name that had Seth Harp ended up, and he had the idea of why don't they rotate it, but all close. So like playing a game in Tallahassee, a game in Gainesville, a game in Orlando. That way it gives different fan bases. Because a lot of the things, Fred said it yesterday too, like I'd love it to be Fred's words. I'd love it to be in Gainesville, but I know maybe there's some fans of Miami and Florida State that are like, I don't really want to go to like the Swamp and watch a game. So that would give opportunities. Florida State fans get a little love, Gator fans get a little love, and then you also get in Orlando. So that could also, you're going a little farther. So maybe people Jags fans that live a little further south can come up to Orlando because it's more, a midway point to Jacksonville for some of those people. So it was an interesting thought. I don't think it's a realistic option. I think we've pretty much seemed like have heard, and what it seems it's going to be one of those 2 places in Gainesville or Orlando. So that'll be, like you said, more of a side note almost at this point, because there's going to be so many things of like, this is what the stadium's going to look like. This is what we can look forward to in 2028. And now that we have a year, it's really easy to just be like, all right, get there, and we're going to have this brand new fantastic stadium.
Yeah, what exactly happens going forward from that proposal, we will see. But they have showed us that they have listened to the fans. What was the biggest thing that the fans wanted in a renovated or new stadium? They wanted shade, right? What is going to be offered with this renovated stadium of the future? Shade. The fans wanted bigger concourses, wider concourses. They wanted more restrooms and better availability for concessions. That all went into what they were working on. It wasn't just like, let's spend a lot of money to get this stadium to look good. No, there's what do our fans want? And when fans said they didn't want this team to play 2 years away, what did the Jags do? They listened to that, and they said, okay, well, we'll play limited capacity for 2026, and then we will have to take the show on the road, so to speak, in 2027. But the 1 year of sacrificing the games away is not, to me, nearly as important or impactful as getting 30 years of the team in this stadium.
Yeah, I just think about even outside, and we mentioned, obviously, I said like March Madness and things like that, concerts, but even like the draft parties. The Jags already do a fantastic job with the draft parties, and hopefully we're to that point where we're picking 30, 31, 32 moving forward, so it's not sitting there waiting for one of those top picks. But I flash back to when I first started working for 1010XL. Well, I was interning for 1010XL. I started in the 2015 season. The Jags had just drafted Blake Bortles, and they didn't even have, obviously, Daly's Place wasn't there, the flex field wasn't there, it was just an open field. Obviously, Miller Electric Center wasn't there. And so just to think now how much different it looks and how much they've been able to do, like you said, around the stadium, and it's so much more about that too. We want to make it a place where you want to come downtown because there's things to do and not just go to a game or a concert, but you want to hang out around downtown, and I feel like people have been wanting that for so long, and that's one of the things the Jags had listened to and all of the surveys they've done of things they want to do. People are like, we want to be able to come downtown and enjoy an entire day and do all sorts of things, and I feel like they finally are in the process of making that happen.
Yeah, I don't want to get emotional, but it's hard not to, right? Like, this is something that will affect future generations so positively. And for me, the reason I get emotional is not just because I was born and raised here, but my first Jaguars game, my grandfather took me to. And then I said I didn't want to get emotional, so I'm not going to. And then the Jaguars honored him as a veteran of the game a few years ago, and he passed away a couple years after that. And so it's just so meaningful for not just me, for my family, for this city, for all the people who moved here because of the military. Like, I hope that people understand how great of a place this is to live and how important that franchise being here in Jacksonville was going to be.
Yeah, and I think we know. I mean, I feel like most people that listen to this station know, but now something like this happened, and seeing Rappaport and Schefter and all these people tweeting about this new stadium and what Jacksonville is doing and how the Jaguars are going to be in here for a minimum of 30 more years, and seeing that was also like, it gave me chills just thinking about it, because now nationwide, worldwide, people are seeing this now. now, and it's like, oh, Jacksonville's for real.
Yeah, I grabbed a screenshot of ESPN and was just I just saved it for myself. That at the very top of the ESPN headlines, there it was, Jacksonville OK's $1.4 billion deal for stadium. Like that, and I know that comes from ESPN's Mike Girocco, who's been on top of this story, certainly, and a lot, I think, people in the know, Taylor, including people at 1010XL, have known that this was going to happen for a while. Last night, whenever the city council approved it, it wasn't a surprise to most of us, right?
Yeah.
We expected it to get to that point. I joined Mike Dempsey, who you just saw, again, if you're watching the stream. I joined him a few weeks ago and told him, like, my intel tells me this is going to get approved. And again, I'm not the only person that had that type of insight. All right, when we come back, we will get it to baseball. Noel Blaha, the Vice President, Marketing and Media from the Jumbo Shrimp, joins us. It is 0-0, and we are in the top of the second, live here at 1-to-1 Financial Ballpark on 1010 Day on 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
It's Helmets and Heels, Kingfish Pest Control Wednesday, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
You have heard about the 1010XL YouTube channel. Now check out our team-specific channels, 1010XL Jaguars, 1010XL Gators, and 1010XL Seminoles, bringing up specific, up-to-the-minute video coverage of your favorite local team. And find us on YouTube today.
Mia here, and we've all been there before. A weekend trip to the casino? Canceled because real life came calling. MyBookie's new and improved online casino is here to change the game. Dive into a truly realistic casino experience featuring the latest in slots, progressive jackpots, and live dealer action, all from the comfort of your own home. The live casino is so easy to use. Just go to MyBookie and click Live Casino at the top. You'll find live dealers ready to deal or spin just like you're at the casino. The MyBookie Casino provides a Las Vegas experience when the action's in the palm of your hands and you don't even need to wear pants. Start at MyBookie today with a generous sign-up bonus using promo code 1010XL. A revamped loyalty program ensures a host of exclusive VIP perks. Sign up and hit the casino with promo code 1010XL. The more you play, the more you win, only with MyBookie.
Enter the Snickers Ice Cream Chill All Summer Sweepstakes for your chance to win a summer supply of Snickers ice cream, a meet and greet with our head coach, and a VIP training camp experience during Jaguars training camp. For more information, please visit jaguars.com/sweepstakes. The Snickers Ice Cream Chill All Summer Sweepstakes ends 11:59 on Monday, July 8th. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited. Must be 18 or older and a legal resident of Florida or Georgia. Promotional period is June 4th to July 8th. Total ARV of prizes is $14.20. Prize details and winner selection date specified in official rules. Sponsor Jacksonville Jaguars, LLC, 1 Everbank Stadium Drive, Jacksonville, Florida, 32202. Odds of winning depend on total number of entries received.
I got more proactive with my health by doing a total body MRI scan at Ackerman Cancer Center. The MRI scanned the most common cancer areas for men and a whole lot more. Call Ackerman Cancer Center to learn about total body MRI and use code GREG15 to get special pricing.
A lot of companies will tell you they're the best. At Custom Tree Surgeons, they show you every time. Custom Tree Surgeons has built an all-pro team. Every tree service professional has years of experience, continually trained and certified. They know what, when, and how to handle any job. It gets done efficiently and quickly by a team of experts. So for tree trimming, removal, stump grinding, and emergency services, forget any name other than Custom Tree Surgeons. There is no job they can't do better. Go to website CustomTreeSurgeons.com. That's CustomTreeSurgeons.com, and let them show you how the job is supposed to get done.
This is what smart jewelry buyers have been waiting all year for at Beard's Diamonds. 0% financing for 5 years, 0 down on everything in the store.
At the St. John's Town Center or BeardsDiamonds.com.
Don't buy anywhere until you shop Beard's Diamonds.
It's your midweek, mid-morning golf tune-up. Dan, Jeff, and PGA Tour insiders.
Brunch with the Tour.
Brought to you by Clearwater Irrigation and Art of Natural Stone. Brunch provided by Chick-fil-A. 8:30 Tuesday morning on 1010XL.
The Sunshine State says it all in the nickname. That summer sun in Florida can take its toll on an air conditioning unit and send your electric bill through the roof. Florida Home AC can help you handle the heat with a brand new AC unit with low monthly payments and over $3,000 in federal tax credits on select systems. So this summer, don't sweat it out. Cool off with Florida Home AC, the official AC company of the Jaguars. Call them today, 777-4300, and check out their tremendous savings on a brand new AC system.
Hey, Jacksonville, Lauren Brooks here from Helmets and Heels for Big Chief Tire. And if you're looking for quality tires that won't break the bank, they've got you covered. With 5 convenient locations around town, Big Chief keeps Jacks rolling. Right now, they're offering $50 off a new set of tires. It's the perfect time to upgrade before you hit the road for summer vacation. Head over to BigChiefTire.com or call 904-932-0950 today to take advantage of this incredible deal. That's Big Chief Tire, 904-932-0950.
Friday on The Frangie Show. Tune in for the House Call segment brought to you by Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute Rehab. Join the discussion as a JOI expert tells you about total knee replacements. JOI, where the pros go.
American Electrical, Northeast Florida's highest-rated electricians, is hiring, and they're looking for people to train for careers. It's not just job training. They're giving you a license that no one can take away from you, training you for jobs that are always in demand and will offer you a peace of mind financially and for the future. Once you know a trade, you'll always be employable. All the details are at american-electrical.com, and with their American Electrical Academy, if you're selected, you'll learn the electrical trade absolutely free of charge. American Electrical Contractors, powered by professionalism.
Jumbo Shrimp Baseball presented by FIS is home all week at 1-to-1 Financial Ballpark. Tomorrow is Coors Light Thirsty Thursday, then it's Red Shirt Friday with fireworks, and the first 2,000 fans on Saturday get a free hat, plus more fireworks courtesy of the Maxwell House. Our biggest fireworks show of the year is set for Wednesday, July 3rd. Tickets start at just $5. JackShrimp.com for tickets. Jumbo Shrimp Baseball. Affordable, family fun.
Hey Jacksonville, Taylor Dahl here. Looking for an easy way to feed your friends and family this summer? Let your local Chick-fil-A restaurant cater your next gathering. Choose from a variety of trays, including Chick-fil-A nugget trays, mac and cheese, and, of course, gallons of Chick-fil-A tea and lemonade. Perfect for a get-together of any size. Place an order through the Chick-fil-A app, online, or by calling ahead and pick it up at your local Chick-fil-A restaurant. Or you can get it delivered directly to your door so you can enjoy more of the summer season with your loved ones when you take cooking off your plate with Chick-fil-A. See restaurant for details.
This is Nye Lauren Stemple, former Florida State National Champion and the proud owner of NLS Cleaning. Just like on the gridiron, we tackle dirt and grime with unmatched precision. Whether it's your commercial property or your residential space, we are ready to take care of your exterior cleaning needs. NLScleaning.net.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
This is Helmets and Heels.
Kept classy by First Coast Lighting and Fans. Upscale lighting, fans, and home decor.
On 1010XL.
Taylor Dahl, RJ Saunders, I'm Lauren Brooks, joined by Noel Blaha here live at 1-to-1 Financial Ballpark as the Jumbo Shrimp take on the Nashville Sounds. Thanks so much for joining us, Noel.
Thanks for having me. Thanks for coming out today. 1010XL Day at the ballpark. Dialed up the perfect day for it. It is gorgeous.
That we did, and we were a little worried about weather affecting the game earlier in the week, but like you said, it is absolutely perfect. And you're also the man responsible for this feast that was brought to us.
Yeah, I mean, I said, hey, dial them up something to eat, and they brought out one of everything off the menu. How about that?
I love it. It is absolutely fantastic. You said this is Mac Attack, so we'll show people watching what that looks like.
So it's like a burger with mac and cheese? Is that?
Yeah, it's a cheeseburger with added mac and cheese on top. It is delicious, and yeah, it's really good.
Sounds good. And boom boom shrimp, and also shrimp tossed in the Nashville hot sauce. So we look forward to delving into all of that. But let's first start with today's promotion, Splash Day.
Yes.
How do you connect all these kids, Splash Day, and as far as getting the promotions out to them?
Yeah, definitely. Big Splash Day. It's something we've done for years, and it's an opportunity for like summer camps and kids that are looking stuff to do in the summer. We connect with a lot of the local camps, boys and girls clubs, YMCA, UNF's sports campus here as well. But it's a day to come out. We say we turn the ballpark into a water park. So
I love it.
Outside of the dry zones, which we are luckily in here, despite the perspiration that's dripping off all of us, this is a dry zone. But outside the dugouts, it's a wet zone. We've got water guns. We got water slides out there, inflatable water slides. We got the players in the bullpen with water guns. The dugouts are spraying the people, getting them all wet. So it's a lot of fun for them to come out, enjoy a day game, and it's so hot. Cool them down with the water.
That is very smart.
It looks like a dream day for a kid, honestly. Like, you get a baseball game, they're probably getting all sorts of snacks from the concessions, and then you get water slides and water fights with the water. I saw the big, long, like, water hoses they had. But
adults, too, by the way.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Me, too, but...
That's right.
So, no, rewind a little bit to your off seasons when you guys are planning all of these promotions, because the Jumbo Shrimp do a fantastic job of doing this stuff. So take us back a little bit of how they started, how these ideas come up, and really get them going.
Absolutely, yeah. It's something that we pride ourselves in, and also something we pride ourselves in that the ideas come from anybody. So we have brainstorm sessions in the off season. Everybody from interns to groundskeeper to our owner Ken, we all come together and just come up with silly ideas. And there's a lot of inspiration from other teams. Minor league baseball is really infamous for people taking other ideas. So there's no original ideas. There's just good ideas made better. Mm-hmm. And so, there's a lot of stuff going on. Some of the stuff is topical, whether it be, in the news that time or pop culture. And we have these brainstorm sessions because we have to plan this out in the off season. In the fall, winter, we got to make sure that it's going to still be topical come season time. So there's stuff like that we plan out months in advance. And then there's stuff that comes up if Justin Timberlake gets busted for a DUI. Is there something goofy that we can do on a Thirsty Thursday maybe to play off of that? I don't know. Maybe you'll see it tomorrow at Thirsty Thursday.
Oh, yeah. Does that also bring some NSYNC music?
It could do. And
Justin Timberlake music, obviously, as well. I like that. When we came last, I think it was 70s night, 70s music night, which was super fun for someone old like me who enjoys 70s music. But as far as we've been talking a lot, of course, about the stadium, we can look out and see Everbank Stadium right there. How much of a partnership is it between the Jumbo Shrimp and the Jaguars?
Tremendous. We've got a great relationship with Mark Lamping and the team over there. And they're a great announcement that came out yesterday from the city approving the Stadium of the Future. We are so excited to be a part of all the evolution of the sports complex. As we look out and see where the bleachers used to be here at 1-to-1 Financial Ballpark, we are really excited. By opening day next year, you'll see a multi-level building out there, team store on street level. Our offices will be out there. On the concourse level, there will be an indoor event space. And then futuristically, potentially a Wrigleyville-esque rooftop setting that'll be out there. I know you'll like that too. So we're excited for that. And just being a part of that in the sports complex, all the teams down here get along, and rising tides lift all boats. So anything that is good for the Jaguars is good for the Jumbo Shrimp, is good for Jacksonville. So we're all in it together.
Yeah, no, I think one of the underrated things, and I was saying this in the first segment that we had, the sports complex out here is fantastic. Being able to look across on certain nights when the Jacksonville Icemen are playing across the street or the Sharks are playing across the street, you have a Jumbo Shrimp going on, there's a concert going on. How fun has that been to watch just start to develop? And honestly, it's going to skyrocket at this point, too.
I mean, there was a night we had a Thirsty Thursday game, and Justin Bieber was at the arena. And it felt like Nashville out there. It felt like everybody was just, I was like, this is what it could be, 75, 80 nights a year out here. And we're really excited to see that coming forth. And you look at the trend with cities right now. Jacksonville has a real big luxury. You look at a place like Kansas City. They've got their football and baseball out in the burbs off the interstate. They're fighting like heck to get those stadiums back downtown. Jacksonville's had the luxury of a sports complex with a football stadium, an arena, and a ballpark all in the same place downtown for 50-odd years. So we've got the advantage. We've got the infrastructure that's already here, and as the buildings start to come to fruition and the UF campus comes to fruition and all the mixed residential retail that happens here, this is going to feel like downtown Nashville or Beale Street in Memphis when there's festivals going on. We're really, really excited about it for sure.
We just need some honky tonks downtown, like a Tootsie.
Let's go.
And then, other places to walk to. And that's what I always tell people, too, is you have this downtown that, while it's not fully developed yet, and it's a long way from that, there still are a lot of fun places. You can go to Intuition right across the street. You can go to Underbelly's Bold City downtown. I was there last week. There's a ton of places. You just have to look for it, and don't be afraid to park downtown. As soon as the business hours end, you can park for free. It's very accessible. It's just people don't necessarily think to do it unless they are coming to an event here.
Yeah, and I think as the new stuff gets developed, and with the Stadium of the Future and the developments to go on around that, and the stuff on the with mosh and things like that right on the riverfront, it's going to give people a reason to come down here when there isn't an event going on, and that's the exciting part. Right now, I don't have a place where I can walk and grab lunch from the ballpark. So as stuff continues to grow down here, it's going to be exciting even when there's not events.
Yeah, luckily for you, you have all this delicious food that you can eat while you're at the ballpark.
Yeah. Also true. By the way, Jumbo Shrimp did just score and tie the ball game up with the sound, so it is 1-1 right now, and there's a runner on third.
No, I do want to ask, because we mentioned some of the promotions. I know one of my favorite is the Dog Days one, where there's dogs in the ballpark. I had brought my dog a couple times. She actually loves baseball, so she would sit there and watch the game. But recently I saw there was a cat night.
Purr in the Park.
Purr in the park. How did that go?
It was awesome. This was our third annual Purr in the Park, and again, I want to say that we were one of the first teams, if not the first team, to do this. And we've been, again, other teams have borrowed this idea. But we started it 3 years ago. We had 9 cats. Mm-hmm. Last year we had 21 cats. This year we're up to 29 cats.
Oh, let's build it.
And again,
the cat fan base is growing.
The cat is going. Looks like we're tagging and scoring here. Played
yep,
the plate.
He was safe, and that was
at the plate.
Nicely done. So 2-1, Jumbo Shrimp.
Nice sack fly there.
Yeah, and we have a little bit of a breeze too. So while the temperatures are high, it really does feel nice, and the fans, the commercial fans, also keep people cool as well.
Those are new this season. The fans,
That's what I thought.
The big A fans.
Yeah, that's nice.
That was as part of the new development here with the ballpark. Those were added for this season as well. Keeps the air moving. The cats love that.
Yeah.
And again, when you look at minor league baseball promotions, we're trying to get people's attention. We're trying to garner people's attention and let that run in their minds. And the cat night is a perfect example of this. We've had, you might be the Father's Night where we gave away the pregnancy test a few years ago. That blew up. That blew up because of what people thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
And this cat night was the same thing. As I said, it was our third cat night. The first two, came in, and were really unremarkable. However, somebody caught wind on it on our Facebook page and just went nuts. I can't believe you're doing this. There's going to be cats running everywhere. There's going to be cat fights.
Yeah, are they on a leash?
You have to have their cat leashed or in a bag carrier. Yeah, so it really was an example of people running crazy with just the suggestion of what it could be. And it wasn't Mad Max Cat Edition. It was a very
It's not like Jaguars and Panthers.
No. It was a calm night with 29 cats on a leash, and you would have thought by reading our Facebook page that we were just going to have a cat fight with 1,000 cats on the field. But that is an example of a promotion doing its job. It was creating a feeling or an idea in people's minds, and people just ran with it. And that happens more often than not. It's hilarious.
It's like the Florida Man one. I know that one was great too, but I do remember all of the comments on that one. Like, of course, Florida.
Yeah.
I do want to talk, because one of my favorite is, and this year the Shrimp are not here on 4th of July, but you guys are still doing the Independence Day game on the 3rd, right?
That's right, yeah. July 3rd, we call it our Super Bowl. So it's a guaranteed sellout. There are limited tickets that do remain, so if you haven't got your tickets for Wednesday, please log on to jackshrimp.com and do so. It's a great night. It's just Americana. We open the gates early. There's a patriotic hat giveaway to the first 2,000 fans. Our friends at Nimnik sponsor the night. It is a great, great night. It's always sold out, and it's the biggest fireworks show of the year. And you start the holiday off a day early.
I love it.
And there's a tiki bar for you as well.
We got the tiki bar.
You can't get more Florida than the tiki bar. Again, that was an example of some of the things that we've added to the ballpark since Ken Babbitt took over ownership. We paid for that with private money, and it's earned itself back tenfold. And that's a great spot to watch a game. Anybody with a general admission ticket, $5 ticket, you can just saunter up to the bar, plop down, and you got a great view of the game.
So you mentioned earlier some of the renovations coming. It'll be here next year, opening day next year. Knock on wood. Okay. So the building going out there, I know storefront out front for the street view.
Yep.
This Tiki Bar staying, though.
Tiki Bar is staying, and we're actually flipping the main entrance of the ballpark. So right now, you might park in the fairgrounds or over in lot P or lot J, and then you've got to walk all the way around, and you come to our home plate gate, and you're greeted by 2 flights of stairs to get up to the concourse. That's just not very welcoming. So what we're going to do is we're going to flip the main entrance out to behind the batter's eye, similar to what they've done in Atlanta. So kind of like we're going to have the street's going to be shut down out there. You've got the store that's street level that you can walk in and shop at, and then you're going to walk into a new plaza out there. We call it our new front porch. And so we're really, really excited that we're going to flip the entry to the ballpark. You'll enter out there, and then you'll make your way into the seating bowl from the center field.
That's fantastic. If you've been to Atlanta, it's really cool the way they did that when you walk in, too, because they have all sorts of booths and, like, obviously the concessions, but game names and stuff out front.
Yep.
It's really cool.
Yeah.
And every game you can still win your boss's money, right?
We give away Harold's $100 every game. That's right. Just by emailing your seat location to win at Jack's Shrimp. And some nights when Harold's off, I get to give it away. So it's really fun to be able to do that.
I'm going to email you home plate concourse.
Yes, that's where we are.
You may just win.
No, we really appreciate it, especially all the food, but also taking the time to join us today.
Thank you so much. You guys are welcome back anytime.
Thank you. All right, we've got more to do. Taylor has a tangent and more on 1010XL 92.5 FM live from 1-to-1 Financial Ballpark.
Helmets and heels.
Kingfish Pest Control Wednesday. This is Duval.
And this is my town.
This is home.
Our town.
1010XL. There's no place like home.
Yeah, this is my town.
Here's Linda Beaver.
Summer starts now at Beaver Toyota and Beaver Chevrolet with our summer sale. It's not sink or swim. We have vehicles for every budget and every need, starting as low as $79.99, and you won't get burnt. We offer 20-year 200,000-mile protection on new and 7-year 100,000-mile protection on used. Plus, we can really cool things off with our 30-day exchange policy. Start the summer off the way you deserve it with our summer sale at Beaver Toyota in St. Augustine or Beaver Chevrolet in Jacksonville. We're here to wow you.
Hello, First Coast. I'm sure by now you have seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We're an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We're committed to customer service, reliability, and have an unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today from GFL, Green for Life.
Now those sound like some well-oiled machines. If you're a business owner that uses tons of fuel, you need B&B. If you're in charge of a job site that uses tons of fuel, once again, you need B&B. B&B Oil and Fuel has the fuel you need and will deliver straight to your site or office. Top-notch products and service delivered with B&B Oil and Fuel. Job sites, boats, generators, nothing but the best fuel with B&B Oil and Fuel. Online at bb-oil.com. Only the best with B&B Oil and Fuel.
Did you know a metal roof from Prime Roofing will last 2 to 3 times longer than a shingle roof? If you want a better roof, think metal. Think Prime Roofing. Schedule your free estimate today at primeroofingfl.com. That's primeroofingfl.com.
If you've played sports or still lead an active life, chances are joint pain is nothing new. This is Dr. George Barry of Barry Orthopedics, and we like to be your option when it comes to taking care of your body and getting back in the game. From shoulders to elbows to hip and knee pain, Barry Orthopedics can diagnose and treat a variety of injuries that are causing you pain. We are Barry Orthopedics and online at barryorthopedics.com. With more than 30 years of experience, our team is here to care for your entire family.
Find out more at barryorthopedics.com. That's BAHRI orthopedics.com.
This date in sports history is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On June 26, 2003, the Cleveland Cavaliers selected 18-year-old LeBron James as the first pick in the NBA draft.
Daly's Dash is not only your Jaguars game day stop, but a great place to grab a meal any day of the week. To honor the Jags and the fans, we've crafted the Duval Sub. The Duval comes with freshly sliced turkey, ham, melted cheddar, and habanero jack cheese, topped with crisp lettuce, fresh tomatoes, and a double portion of our secret sauce, all served on a fresh roll. Come by your local's Daly's Dash today to get your delicious Duval Sub. Daly's is the official convenience store sponsor of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Craving a cold one? Well, zip into one of the great gate locations you see all over town and pick up a cold Bud Light, or a Natty, or an Ultra, maybe a 12-pack of the King of Beers, or some cold Coronas. It's all happening at your local gate convenience store. Slide on in today.
Men, if you're suffering from erectile dysfunction or PE, Prime Men's Medical Center will get your sex life back in just one visit. Their painless, breakthrough medical treatments eliminate ED and PE. Here's a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Simovitz. Have Viagra or Cialis let you down? Prime Men's Medical Center offers the most effective treatments that eliminate ED and PE, with men lasting longer than ever. 98% of patients see instant results on their first visit.
Prime Prime Men's Medical Center's breakthrough treatments will restore your sex life regardless of age or medical history. Your consultation and first treatment are free. Plus, you'll see instant results in the office. Plus, qualified patients will have their testosterone checked free. Call 904-902-8222. 904-902-8222. To regain your sex life in just one visit, call now. 904-902-8222.
This is Joe C. from XL Primetime and stoked to crank up the 9 after 5 once again at the Golf Club of Southampton. Every Wednesday, a little after 5, the gang at Southampton will be hosting us with a new game, and I'm inviting you to be a part of it. Now, through the summer stretch, break up the week with a little hump day fun every Wednesday. Call 287-PLAY to get on the tee sheet. There'll be food afterwards and prizes, including playing for a membership at the Golf Club of Southampton. Call 287-PLAY and hit the tee with Joe C.
Maybe you've got plumbing problems, like toilets that won't flush, or there's not enough pressure, or you get clogs and stoppage too often.
Ew!
There's several potential causes, and some can't be detected easily. So before it becomes a disaster, call Roland Reich Plumbing. They can send a special video camera down through the lines, since they don't have a small little man, to find the root of the problem, which could be tree roots. Don't guess. Hire Roland Reich Plumbing at plumbingjacksonville.com.
Don't make a bad call when it comes to servicing your home. Cooling off with a baby pool in the house to fix your air conditioning problem is a bad call. Trying to catch a wave in a flooded bathroom is a bad call. Using a burning electrical panel to make s'mores is a bad call. The next time something goes wrong, make a good call to Donovan.
Whether you need air, electric, or plumbing service, Donovan is always a good call. It's why we've been trusted by our customers for almost 40 years and why you can trust us to deliver fast, reliable service to your home. Donovan, always a good call.
Visit DonovanAC.com today.
1010XL is presented by Farrah & Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Helmets and Heels is switched on by
First Coast Lighting and Fans.
Upscale lighting, fans, and home decor on 1010XL.
Taylor Dahl, RJ Saunders, I'm Lauren Brooks, RJ back at 1010XL headquarters, and I'm so sad we don't have any food for you, RJ. I'm so sad. But we do appreciate the Jumbo Shrimp for having 1010XL out here at the ballpark, and it is now
5-1.
5-1, that's right. When we went to commercial break, it was 2-1, so you missed a 3-run home run. And like I said, the Jumbo Shrimp now lead the Nashville Sounds 5-1, and we're in the top of the third. Have you heard this song before, by the way, by Shabuzi?
I can't even hear a song.
Oh, okay. It's called A Bar Song.
Oh,
and
there it is.
It's a take on...
RJ's bumping it.
Yeah. It's
oh,
so
I love this song.
Technically, it's country.
Yeah.
I figured you had heard it, yeah. So, yeah, we are live here at the ballpark, and right now, Taylor Dahl has a tangent.
I do.
Now, Taylor's Tangent, served up by Chick-fil-A on 1010XL.
Yeah, that song says, someone pour me a double shot of whiskey.
Yeah.
I'm like, yes, please. So we've talked a ton about the stadium and what that's going to do for Jacksonville and how we're excited to have that, but also have a team and a franchise quarterback where we're feeling like we're heading into this direction where we're going to be talking about a winning product and we're going to be talking about expectations being playoff football. And I think that's it's an exciting thing in general, but this tangent is about how I feel like we can get there and stay there rather than these one-off seasons that we've seen. And my example is the Detroit Lions. And I'm going to go, there's an article written, and it had the top 25 NFL players 25 and under for the 2024 season. The Jags do not have anybody on this list, and that's a side note that I'll make at the end. But the Lions have 5 players. 5 of these 25 players are on the Lions. And I think that when you go through, and I've mentioned this a lot about how they've been able to build, and obviously they made a trade with Matthew Stafford and Jared Goff, and no one quite knew which direction that was going to go. Seems like that's one of the few NFL trades we've seen that were win-win on both sides because one got a Super Bowl and one looks like they're building a franchise that can actually win and win consistently. And so one of my critiques last year when the Jags didn't do almost anything and free agency was not to get complacent and to look at how the Lions were doing things, because the Lions came off a 9-win season also, but they did not hesitate. They spent a ton in the free agency. They had an absolutely fantastic draft. Then this year they went and spent more money because they were like, okay, we still need to get better, even though they win a playoff game. Then they still also had another fantastic draft, getting 2 of the top corners in the draft this year. And so when I was going through this list, and I'm not going to go through all of them, but as I'm scrolling down, there's a lot of guys. So Jahmyr Gibbs is one of the Lions on there. Sam Laporta is one of the Lions on there. Aiden Hutchinson's one of the Lions on there. And so when you go down, there's a lot of names that obviously Puka Nacua and Trent McDuffie, Garrett Wilson, Olave, most of the other teams have 2. So the Vikings have 2, the Bucks have 2, Kansas City has 2, Jets has 2, Cowboys have 2, and then the Lions have 5. So that, by far the most of any team. There's also obviously only about half the teams, not even on this list, that do not have a player. But it brought me to this question as I was thinking about it, because I'm going to make a little bit of a bold take here for my tangent, and it's going to be the Jags have 42 players 25 and under on their roster right now. I am going to predict that next year on this list, there's going to be at least 2 Jags. And I think that one of those are going to be, because when you go through those 25 and younger, including Devin Lloyd, Walker Little, Travis Etienne, Gabe Davis, obviously Trevor Lawrence, Andre Sisco, Tyson Campbell, Trayvon Walker, there's a solid list of guys there that are 25 and under. And I think that next year we are going to see 2 or 3 Jags on this list, and it's going to be, in my opinion, a Trevor Lawrence, a Brian Thomas Jr., Tyson Campbell. Those 3 I could see making the list next year.
The fact that Trevor's not on it is one of the dumbest things I've ever heard. I didn't read the article because I think that's incredibly asinine. So to me, I don't really put that much validity in it. Yes, we can go through and look at rosters as to the young players that are some of the best at their position, but to not have Trevor Lawrence when most NFL franchises would take him over the guy that they have, at least half of the NFL franchises would, and he's under 25.
Yeah.
That's just so incredibly dumb to me, but that's neither here nor there.
I'll say there's only 3 quarterbacks on the list in general, and it's, which this also may make you mad, but it's Jordan Love, Brock Purdy, and C.J. Stroud.
Right, they all belong on the list. You know who else belongs on the list?
Yeah.
Trevor freaking Lawrence, who, like I said, at least half the franchises, if not more, would want him as their franchise quarterback. But I'm with you. I think Brian Thomas Jr. will be on that list. I've talked about him for a while now, on not just this program, but back when I was on the Frangie Show, of how much I liked him, how I think he's going to be way better than Calvin Ridley was, and Calvin even had over 1,000 yards here. Yeah, Tyson Campbell, Trayvon Walker, Andre Sisco, all those guys need to play well enough to make a list like this. All right, we are live here at the 1-to-1 Financial Ballpark. It is 5-1, Jumbo Shrimp leading the Nashville Sounds. We hope that if you're hanging out here and you want to get wet, you're over in the splash zone. If you want to stay dry, you are in the dry section. That's where we are, just behind home plate. When we come back, we've got a giveaway, and also in the next hour, Andrew Gibson will join us. We're going to talk a ton of baseball. You are listening to Helmets and Heels on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
It's a Helmets and Heels Kingfish Pest Control Wednesday. Everything's going according to plan.
We're currently formulating a plan B.
1010XL.
Although technically it's a plan C.
It's all part of the plan. Now you can watch 1010XL shows all day on X, Facebook, and YouTube. Brought to you by MyBookie. Experience Vegas from the comfort of your phone anytime, anywhere. Sign up today. Use promo code 1010XL.
Mia here, and we've all been there before. A weekend trip to the casino? Canceled because real life came calling. MyBookie's new and improved online casino is here to change the game. Dive into a truly realistic casino experience featuring the latest in slots, progressive jackpots, and live dealer action, all from the comfort of your own home. The live casino is so easy to use. Just go to MyBookie and click Live Casino at the top. You'll find live dealers ready to deal or spin just like you're at the casino. The MyBookie Casino provides a Las Vegas experience when the action's in the palm of your hands and you don't even need to wear pants. Start at MyBookie today with a generous sign-up bonus using promo code 1010XL. A revamped loyalty program ensures a host of exclusive VIP perks. Sign up and hit the casino with promo code 1010XL. The more you play, the more you win, only with MyBookie.
Expert Automotive is ready to keep you cool this summer. Right now, get an AC inspection or a system cooling checkup. Your choice for only $19.99. Their gift to you this summer is $50 off any service and a free tire rotation with any service. Their ASE certified technicians can keep your car cool without breaking the bank this summer. Call them at 374-3373 to get an appointment today. Expert Automotive. They never sell greed, only what you need.
This is Mark Nato. My sons and I have seen the doctors and PAs at Southeast Ortho for everything from lumbar spine stress to elbow tendonitis. Southeast has always been there, been truthful, and always been on point. Everything they say happens. We can't thank them enough for what they've done and the great care that they have taken of our sons.
Relieve pain and get back to life. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
The flagship station of the Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Mia here. Summer is officially heating up. And in Jacksonville, that means fun in the sun, days at the beach, and living that sweet Florida life. But you know what makes life even sweeter? A new Toyota from Arlington. Why Arlington Toyota? All right, you've got to hear this. Just drive to their lot and you will see Arlington has a huge selection of new vehicles in stock in one location. No more driving around trying to figure out what you want. Arlington has it. And at Arlington, every new Toyota purchase comes with Arlington's lifetime warranty. That's unlimited time and miles. But it keeps getting better. How about 60 days to decide if you love your new purchase or exchange it for one that you do? Worried about financing? Don't be. Arlington is here to help with the Arlington Credit Helper, and you even get a complimentary car wash with every service. Oh, and did I mention, Arlington has an amazing 4.7-star rating and over 20,000 Google reviews. It's going to be one sweet summer when you shop in person, 10939 Atlantic Boulevard, or online at arlingtontoyota.com.
Certainly facing challenging economic times. I can't speak for all of us, but for me, comforting to know my money is in good hands with ITP Partners. Ticket here for ITP Partners. Jacksonville guys taking care of my Jacksonville money. I'll admit it, I don't understand a ton about the economy, higher interest rates, 401ks, but I do know as I move closer to retirement, I continue to watch my money grow. Thanks to Chris Bryan, Jeff Hartman, Reagan Wright, Dan Abel, and Reed Wingate. Get in the game, guys. ITP Partners, always there to help. For more info, Chris at ITPPartners.com or call 904-312-9751.
This is Molly McDonald with your 1010XL Southeast Orthopedic Specialist Local Sports Update. Local Jacksonville Beach golf prodigy 15-year-old Miles Russell will make his PGA Tour debut tomorrow at the Rocket Mortgage Classic. Russell first broke par at age 6 and won both the Junior PGA Championship and Junior Players at age 14. Russell shared how he feels about his big debut.
I don't know what a PGA Tour event's like, so see how that is compared to Korn Ferry, but Korn Ferry was pretty cool, so I can only imagine what a PGA Tour is. It was just like any other tournament. You play the first 3-4 holes, kind of settle in, and then those next 14 holes are nice, other than maybe until 17, 18, you get a little more nerves because you're finishing, but no, they're good.
Russell will tee off the back 9 tomorrow at 2:11. It's 91 degrees at 1 o'clock. Time and temp brought to you by Bueller Air Conditioning. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
You're listening to Helmets and Heels.
Illuminated by
First Coast Lighting and Fans.
On 1010XL.
Welcome back to Helmets and Heels, live here at 1-to-1 Financial Ballpark, having just an absolute blast as the Jumbo Shrimp play host to the Nashville Sounds. And today has just been wonderful. We've had lots of people come up and tell us how much they love listening to 1010XL overall, our show as well. Had some friends come up, and certainly the kids are enjoying the splash zones for sure. And we really appreciate the Jumbo Shrimp. And it's been fun also, Taylor, talking all about the stadium renovation and how fantastic that is for the city and just how wonderful our city is in general. And speaking of fantastic and wonderful things, we have lunch to give away.
We do. We've got lunch for 2 to Chick-fil-A. So if you call right now, you get lunch on the ladies. And let's say 641-1010 be caller number 4, and you get 2 gift cards to Chick-fil-A.
I love it. 641-1010 is the number. All right, so most people that are familiar with the College World Series understand that Jim Schlossnagle is the one who was the head coach for Texas A&M, and we found out yesterday that he's going to be leaving A&M for Texas, despite the fact that in the post-game press conference, when a certain reporter asked him whether or not he'd be taking another job, he basically ridiculed, lambasted that reporter, and at that point in time, everyone was like, well, yeah, he's not leaving. And then less than 24 hours later, it turns out, no, actually, the deal's been done for quite some time, as Kendall Rogers reported, who covers college baseball closely. Yeah, back when they were playing against, I think it was Georgia, the deal was done. And so, long story short, he was leaving. And so this poor reporter who asked a valid question because there were rumors circling all over the place. And now, since then, everyone's had so much fun at Jim Schlossnagle's expense. Meanwhile, he had to apologize to the reporter, Taylor.
Yeah, that's also quite a name.
I mentioned it the other day when we talked about it.
And I was like, Schlossnagle.
Yeah, because game 2, I said he didn't put in his really good reliever. And now, of course, people should be having second thoughts about that.
Well, it's weird. We've seen instances in the past where they're asked and they maybe get a little upset because they're like, no way, I'm not going anywhere. This is my team. I love this team. And then months later, they end up getting a job somewhere else, but it wasn't something that was already in the works. This being something that was pretty much already done, and him getting that defensive is just a really weird thing to kind of go shout at somebody about when you know in the back of your head that it's in the works.
Yeah, that should have been the sign that he's getting a little too worked up about this. If he was calm, like, of course not, then he probably wouldn't have been leaving one team to go to the bitter rival.
Yeah.
Because that's the thing. Like, that's the reason that Gators fans were upset that Trevor Etienne left. It's not that Trevor Etienne went to another school. We understand. You want to try and win a championship? Go chase a ring. It's the fact that he went from Florida to Georgia.
Yeah.
And guys that go from Florida to Florida State or FSU to Florida, FSU to Miami, like, fans don't like that.
Yeah. Imagine if Link went to Florida next.
Right, exactly. If Link Jarrett, now the baseball coach at Florida State, and look, that's totally different. Leaving Notre Dame, and no offense to Notre Dame athletics, but when
There's
you play
not
up
that
north,
connection there.
yeah, and also when you play up north, your baseball team isn't usually as good because you can't start practicing as fast as the ones down here can. And yes, he went to FSU. There is that connection.
Yeah.
But you can't go from one place to your rival, from one school to the school that people, that's the team that they absolutely dislike the most.
Yeah, you can tell that question kind of caught him off guard, which it shouldn't have, but it did, and he freaked and got defensive really quick, and that's where and a lot of people, when they're in that defense mode, it turns into anger, and so he ended up having to apologize, or he did apologize. I'm sure everyone's like, you're going to have to go say sorry to that lady.
Well, I think nowadays with social media, things can go viral, obviously, very quickly, and in categories or topics where most people didn't probably care, right? Like, had he not attacked the reporter, going from Texas A&M to Texas, unless you're in the sports world, certainly the college baseball realm, you don't think twice about it. You don't think that much about it. But the fact that now the clip can go viral, everyone has an opinion, even if you don't even care about college baseball.
Yeah, and that's the part of social media where it does. One thing is taken, and we talk about sometimes how like things are taken out of context. This clearly wasn't, because it was a live reaction of how he was not appropriately reacting to a question that was asked. But I think that in the social media world, you just have to be extra careful with everything, because like you said, this now turned into a national topic when it wouldn't have been a national topic if it didn't happen that way.
Right. The name Jim Schlossnagle, other than if you were watching college
People would
baseball,
be like, who?
yeah, on Saturday night, or that would have been Sunday, you wouldn't have really focused on it.
Yeah.
So it is an interesting decision that he made to answer the question like that. All he had to say is, I don't address rumors. And he also abruptly ended the press conference after that too. So there was another sign that he couldn't really sit there and discuss things in a professional fashion.
Yeah. I did also want to mention really quick, because we talked about it's pretty warm out here.
Yep.
But Lauren, we were looking all week and we're like, look, there's a chance of rain at like noon for a few of the days, and we were like, oh no, it's going to be hot and rainy. It's beautiful out here right now.
It really is.
I mean, there's some clouds, so a little cloud coverage, but not like dark rain clouds yet. I think rain might come a little bit later, but it ended up working out perfectly. And I wanted to just also say, because I forgot to put sunscreen on, luckily we're under the thing, but Beaches Dermatology, if you are out here or you're on your way or you're listening, we do have sunscreen over here if you want to swing by and grab some sunscreen from Beaches Dermatology, because I know some of those people sitting in the sun might be roasting out there.
You got that right, like you said, especially if they forgot sunscreen. All right, so I wanted to let you hear from the man himself, Jim Schlossnagel's apology.
When the game ended, I want to publicly apologize to Richard Zane from Texags. He's a young reporter. He asked the question that was an obvious question. I wish I could have answered that better. But in the moment, 30 minutes after the last pitch, all I could think about was our players. And I really wasn't in the mood to talk about myself or the future. So I apologize for that to Richard.
Here's the thing. You weren't thinking about your players only because you're deserting them. Those players that you recruited for years when they were in high school, that some also probably transferred from other schools into A&M. You've spent all this time and effort recruiting them, and they believed that you were going to be, we just had a staffer pretend he was going to shoot us with a water gun, which would have been hilarious. Only problem is we do have equipment here. But yeah, like you've spent all that time with them, and then you literally, like less than 24 hours, are like, okay, kids, it doesn't really matter. Yeah, you can go wherever you want, because I'm certainly leaving. All right, we love to talk baseball around here since we are live here at the Jumbo Shrimp game, and so we're going to bring in the host of River City Hardball. Nobody knows local baseball better than one Andrew Gibson. Gibby, what'd you think of that first pitch earlier by Ethan Wheeler?
First of all, ladies, thanks for having me on. Yeah, it was cool. You know, Ethan is a stud pitcher for Trinity Christian. He's a guy that is a Marlins fan, in fact, too. When I was reaching out to some people this week, he was one of the first guys on my list, and I reached out to his dad, and I said, would Ethan have any interest in doing that? And he was like, absolutely. And so they actually were playing a travel tournament up in Cary, North Carolina, Raleigh area, and they just got back on Tuesday, and I said, can you guys swing it? Can you make it? And they're like, we'll be there. And so really cool to get Ethan. He's actually going into his junior year. He's already committed to Florida. Yes. And so the Gators offered him at a pretty young age, and his dad told me the story that they went out to a camp. Sully liked what he saw and offered him and said they grew up as Miami fans, which is ironic, interestingly. But they said once Florida offered, that was the first one they got. They said, we're going to the Gators. So pretty
Florida's
good.
Better than Miami in recent years in baseball.
Yeah.
Miami certainly had a great run there.
Yeah.
But yeah, what Kevin O'Sullivan has done is really impressive. So yeah, glad that Ethan Wheeler won the first pitch contest and that he was able to make it today.
And they also, Trinity, he was a big part of them making the Final Four this year. So, in fact, it was only last month they played in Fort Myers in the Final Four. So
why does that seem so long ago now?
I know it does. But Jonathan Murphy, Daniel's brother's the head coach at Trinity Christian, and so cool to see Ethan get that opportunity, and he was fired up about it.
Tell us a little bit about that, Gibby, because baseball here in the local area, we're talking about a ton of kids getting recruited to really good schools, but just in general, the ones that made it to the postseason last year and had good runs. Tell us a little bit about some of those teams.
Yeah, I mean, so Trinity made the Final Four. In fact, I even had on River City Hardball earlier, before they even made the trip to the Final Four, I had Aaron Watson, who's a pitcher that's going on his way to Virginia. He's a D1 commit. And then I also had another actually outfielder, infielder as well, Aiden Arnett, who's also a commit to Florida. So Trinity Christian, speaking of them, they have multiple D1 guys. I mean, I talked to Jonathan Murphy, their head coach, and he said that when all is said and done on this particular team, there will be 7 or 8 guys who play pro baseball at some point in their careers on this high school team at Trinity here in Jacksonville, which is pretty amazing to think about.
I wonder what's been the most we've ever had. Like, I know the team that Brian played on back at Inglewood, and they won the state championship in '99. They had probably at least 5 guys play at some level
in the pros.
Of pro baseball.
Yeah, but then you have, St. John's Country Day finally got the monkey off their back and won the state championship. They had been a handful of times and just came up short, but this year's team was able to finally win it. And, that team has so many different guys that are going to go on to play college baseball, and it's just amazing the amount of talent, and it's not just concentrated in one area. St. John's is in Orange Park. Creekside's always really good. Bartram's had really good years. You go down the line to Bowles has had tremendous seasons.
Bishop Kenny.
Bishop Kenny.
I got to represent.
You can name so many different schools that have had success in terms of their times in their school's history, and it's not just concentrated in one stretch of time, not one area. It's the whole area. That's really good.
Yeah, when we're talking about the local recruiting aspect in the College World Series recently, we saw a Florida State team who had 5 kids from the Jacksonville area. Florida did not have anybody this season, but we're already talking about Ethan Wheeler committing to Florida. There was another name that you were talking to also, Aiden King also committed to Florida. So it seems like that winning the battle of that Jacksonville area recruiting is beneficial for Florida State, that rivalry.
Yeah, I mean, let's talk about Florida State. First of all, making it as far as they did in the College World Series, and a large part of that was due to Jacksonville players. We're not talking about guys that, he played here and there. Starters on the Florida State team played high school ball in Jacksonville. Alex Lodis was at Bartram Trail at high school. He's the Florida State shortstop. He was at UNF, had an All-American season as a freshman. Florida State came and got him, and he hit 2 home runs in the College World Series, which was pretty cool to see.
And also his head coach, Tim Parrington, passed away, so we all understand that there is a different circumstance.
We do. And Max Williams, the center fielder at Florida State, played at Clay. He's not from Jacksonville. I think he's from Ormond Beach, but he played his high school ball
Close
at
enough.
Clay. Yeah. But he played at Clay. And so you just go down the line. Daniel Cantu, the first baseman's from Creekside. I had a chance to speak with Connor Holtz, a pitcher that also a lefty from Creekside. And then a guy that didn't play this year, Brody DeLamalur, is a red shirt, but he's from Bartram Trail. So all those guys are at Florida State. And then, speaking about Aiden King, led the state in strikeouts this year from Bishop Snyder. In fact, he was a candidate to do this today, but Aiden actually moved into Florida today in Gainesville, so he was on.
I remember those days.
Yeah, here comes Frank Frangie behind us right now. But
I love it.
Aiden was.
Do you want to jump on the mic also, Frank? Yeah,
he was a candidate to do it, but Aiden said, "You know what? I'd love to do it, but I'm moving into my dorm in Gainesville today," so that was pretty neat.
The timing of that is kind of perfect. When we're talking about, because one of the things I did my tangent on, brought to you by Chick-fil-A recently, Gibby, was the ABS, the challenge system that's now been fully implemented in AAA. Before they were doing the split, where it was like ABS full robot, ABS challenge for some of the time. They just moved on fully to the challenge. Have you talked to anybody about that system and how it's kind of going in the minors?
So I haven't yet, but I'm definitely going to do that. I saw yesterday they're doing it full time throughout the rest of the season, and I like it. Each team gets 3 challenges. It's a pretty quick process. We had one earlier. They flash it up on the screen, ball or strike kind of thing. I'm always of the opinion that if you have the technology, why not use it? And you don't want it to slow things down, but I don't think it's slowing anything down.
Yeah. Frank, what?
Yeah, Frank Frangie's here. Absolutely.
Thanks I think he just came over here for the food.
I came just for the food. Let me be honest. There's food everywhere.
This is called the Mac Attack. It is a cheeseburger, well, really a burger with mac and cheese on top, and then there's Boom Boom Shrimp. There's shrimp tossed in Nashville hot sauce and coconut shrimp, which I know you like.
Harold Craw just came by, the general manager, and he said, what's going on? I said, what are you doing? He said, I'm getting ready to give away money. He said, well, let me eat some of the food and then go get some of the money.
Win the money, get the food.
$100, all you got to do is
fantastic.
email Harold.
It's 10 day at the ballpark, got all this grub. I was just over across the street.
I wondered if you were coming here from the Miller Electric Center.
The mayor was there. Shad was there. Mark Lamping, Mike Weinstein. We had a big gathering, and you'll hear some great interviews tonight at about 5 o'clock on our show. Hayes one-on-one. Hayes had one session with just Hayes and Mark Lamping and Mike Weinstein.
Great.
And another one with Shad and the mayor.
Okay,
and you'll hear all that. We can't play until 5 o'clock, but you'll hear that at 5 o'clock today on the program. Council President Ron Salem will be on with us in the 4 o'clock hour to talk about how they passed all this. So this is it's a day of celebration, and I'm here. What I wanted to do here is I wanted to get here before Gibby and get the food. My goal was to beat Gibby to the food. You got to have goals in life, Lauren. Life's all about goals and
aspirations.
Right. So,
Frank, while you're at the Miller Electric Center, and Gibby, you guys know this, My grandfather was once honored as veteran of the game at the Jags game back when they weren't as good, and there were several interceptions, by the way, thrown as we were on the field for the entire first quarter. But I told Taylor I got emotional doing it too, just how much this means for our city.
Yeah, there's no question. This is a real day of, and first of all, it's a great day of celebration at the ballpark, and I'm glad we're out here, and thanks to the Jumbo Shrimp for having you guys out here, and for so many of our 1010XL personnel to be able to come out here and hang out, and some of our listeners. This is an awesome thing. So tip of the cap to Ken Babby and Harold and the Jumbo Shrimp people. That's first and foremost. That's why you guys are here. But what a day of celebration, Lauren, for our city. I mean, I said this to someone today. I'm 65. Mm-hmm. This team's going to be here 30 years. Just so y'all know, I'm planning to be here for the next negotiation too, okay? But I'll be 95, so joking aside, for my lifetime, this team's going to be here. And all the talk about London and St. Louis and all that, well, too bad. That didn't happen. This is a day of celebration. I'm telling you, being over there in that stadium with the mayor and with Mark and with Schott and with Mike Weinstein, you could feel the day of celebration. So this is a magnificent day. I mean, yesterday and today, it's not unlike 95 when we got the team. It's very similar because now we know we'll continue to have the next 30 years.
Yeah, and Gibby's a transplant. Sorry, Taylor. But your wife is also from here. You've obviously made this your home. I know it's important to y'all as well.
It is, and we're incredibly excited. You know, my wife was born and raised in Jacksonville. She went to Inglewood like Frank, and so, in fact, she was same class as Daniel Murphy. So she went to high school with Daniel Murphy here in Jacksonville at Inglewood. So, and I love it. I love it here. I've been here for 10 years, and I could not be more thrilled because this is such a vital part of Jacksonville having the Jaguars here.
Yeah, I know we heard and saw the emotion from Lauren earlier, and on the text line, Frank and Gibby, all day. It's been, I was X years old when I found out we were getting the Jags, and I'm just as emotional today as I was when we found out the team was coming to Jacksonville. And so I think, did Nikki have that feeling too?
Oh, absolutely. And, her thing is that she gets hot pretty quick at games, so she's going to be very excited about the cooling effect that the new stadium's going to have. So hopefully she'll be able to get up to more games when the stadium gets open in 28.
Yeah, absolutely. We have Andrew Gibson, host of River City Hardball with us, Frank Frangie, host of the Frangie Show, also the play-by-play voice of the Jacksonville Jaguars. All right, Frank, we were talking baseball. It's obviously why we are here today. You just got back from Pittsburgh, and I saw a picture of Paul Skeens on a boat on the Allegheny River with Olivia Dunn, and someone said, I think he's living his best life.
Yeah, he is. I saw that. That picture went viral. And,
shocking. I wonder why.
And wasn't his mustache, you don't think?
I don't know.
Yeah, so,
I like the mustache.
Yeah, but it was pretty amazing. And I will tell you, getting to watch him up close, that's such a magnificent ballpark. Getting to watch Skeens from row 4 is pretty amazing stuff. It really is. It's one of the best things I've gotten to do. And so, the Pirates played 3 games, Gibby, allowed 3 runs in 3 games, and lost one of the games. Went 2-1 against the Reds, allowed 3 runs in 3 games.
Well, I'll tell you this. There is a chance that I might be slipping up to Atlanta this weekend because Skeens pitches against the Braves in Atlanta on Saturday.
You know what? If we weren't leaving again pretty quick, I was going to do that. I was going to go watch him pitch again because he's pitching on Saturday.
It's an hour flight.
Yeah,
it is. It's a very easy flight.
The baseball gods were looking after you, though, Frank, because originally he wasn't supposed to be pitching, and they ended up switching the rotation, and you got to see Paul Skeens. But the pitchers like that, because I've seen Aroldis Chapman pitch in person, and guys that pitch that fast, you can hear it. It's wild.
Well, you know what? Chapman pitched while I was up there, and I was still 3 rows back or 4 rows back. You could hear it.
Your hand hurt from sitting in the stands.
I'm telling you, Aroldis Chapman, he still's 98, 99.
Yeah, he's insane.
I told Taylor this yesterday. Obviously, watched pretty much every minute of the College World Series this year. I thought it was just incredible. And I usually watch because Florida's a part of it. But this year I found myself watching games that had nothing to do with Florida, really, or Florida State. But I told Taylor the fact that obviously Cags and Charlie Condon from Georgia, like watching them hit with such pure power was awesome. But the guy I think might be the best major leaguer of this draft, and I want to get y'all's opinions, is Christian Moore out of Tennessee, the second baseman. Hit 33 home runs this year, but it's not just that. He's also so good defensively. I think we'll watch him in the bigs for a long time.
You got a good eye for it. If I had to pick the best major, what you just said, the best major leaguer in the College World Series. Now again, Georgia didn't make it.
Correct.
But of the team, but I'm like you. I watch all the games. the best major leaguer is Christian Moore. You have a good eye. I thought he will be a second baseman have to hit with power.
Yeah.
There's no more punch and Judy, and I think you're right. He was great. I'll say this: college baseball finally has momentum. College baseball now, and I give ESPN a ton of credit for this because they've always televised it. There's still diehards. If you're not a baseball fan, you're not going to watch it. But diehard baseball fans watch more college baseball, I think, this year, Gibby, than they ever have.
Well, the TV ratings came out last night, and it was their second most watched College World Series ever.
I believe it.
On ESPN.
I didn't know that, but I
What
believe
was the
it.
first?
Last year.
Oh, I was
Florida,
about to say.
LSU last year with CAG, with Wyatt Langford and Paul Skeens.
Dylan Cruz.
The most watched ever last year. This year was number 2, so it definitely has momentum.
But that shows you where it's going. It is now on the forefront of TV viewers, not just college viewers.
And I wonder, too, Taylor, you get some NIL in college baseball, but Jack Caglione got a deal from Topps before he even, the season was even over. So I wonder if NIL just a little bit is helping some of these stars stay in school a little bit.
Yeah, and Frank, one of the things we talked about the other day, and Gibby, was how last year in the College World Series, we're watching Paul Skeens in the College World Series, and now we're watching him in Major League Baseball. Guys like Wyatt Langford, we see instantly go from playing college baseball to seeing them quickly in the major leagues. Do you think that's helping at all, too? Because people have that attraction to both?
Absolutely. I think it's happening, and what's happening, Taylor, is they're going faster. So back in the day, you'd see someone in the College World Series, and then
you're not seeing him for 6 years.
That's right. Now, Paul Skeens pitched last year and is now in the big leagues.
Yeah.
Everybody, and Gibby, this, they're rushing players more than ever now. Everybody's being rushed.
And for the Pirates, that's even more impressive because of what the Pirates have always done.
Because the Pirates stall.
Right. Yeah.
But I think you're dead on. I think exactly what you just said. I think the reality is that right now, baseball, college baseball, and Major League Baseball have never been more connected. One other part of that, too, is the portal.
Yeah.
Now, the players who go to Omaha, they were at Florida this year because they were at East Carolina last year and Southern Miss the year before. So they're now ready. They're more ready for the bigs.
Yeah.
So those guys now are ready. I'll bet you Caglione, it's harder for a hitter, but I'll bet you what's this, 24? 26? I'll bet he's in the big leagues. And what do you think?
And not pitching.
No, he's not going to pitch.
Are you surprised he's not? Because a lot of the mock drafts I'm seeing, he's a little lower than I thought. Honestly,
he's
he would be.
Yeah. I haven't seen the others. I haven't seen the Oregon State kid. Yeah. Bazana or whatever. I haven't seen him. Condon I've seen a little bit, so I can't compare. So he's a top 5 guy. But I'll bet you he's up. What do you think?
Yeah,
I'll bet he's up in 26.
I think it's a good ballpark area for 26. And think about it. Cags, obviously, we know him as a hitter. He's actually a really good fielder, too.
Yeah, he's a very good first baseman.
He DHs a lot.
Even though he's so tall.
But that'll help in his favor, too. You can't just stick a lot nowadays, you can put a guy out there as a universal DH, but helping him as well as he can play the field also.
Langford's up this year, too, now. Not just Skeens. Langford was in that – he was in Omaha last year at this time, or a week ago at this time. And he started the season, and do you see where he just got hot now?
Yeah. He had a grand slam recently.
So I think, but that's a great point, Taylor, because we know the college guys more than we knew them before, and they're getting to the major league sooner. Yeah. It connects the two more than it doesn't connect.
Sometimes when it's so long, you almost forget. You're excited about drafting a certain guy, but then you don't see that guy. And we're different because I can talk about my single, double, and triple A baseball teams, but not everybody's like that. So you're waiting 5-6 years to see this guy you're excited about them drafting, and now seeing that quicker is adding this extra level of wanting to watch the guys in the College World Series.
I actually added something to the 1010XL newsletter that comes out on Wednesdays at 10:10, and I wrote a paragraph this morning about Wyatt Langford. He started out slow. He actually had a 3-week stint on the injured list, but ever since he's come back, 20 RBIs in 24 games. So, and he hit a grand slam, as you mentioned, Lauren. So he's getting hot.
He's going to be a great player.
Oh, yeah.
He certainly is. Sully knows how to find him, whether it's in high school or just plucking them from other teams around the country.
Have you seen he's already got 5 or 6 guys?
Yeah, LSU knew they were going to do that. Florida did as well. So we had Leroy Butler last week. We had Fred Taylor yesterday, and today Andrew Gibson and Frank Frangie.
Well, what I'm trying to – Taylor, help me with this.
Yes.
I got all this food. I got all this food. I want to eat like all of it.
Yes.
Is it healthy? Or would
Probably not, but
I mean, what's more healthy?
you might
the
fall
fries,
asleep before your show.
The fries, the chicken fingers, or this stuff with the sugar and all on it?
Yeah,
What is that?
Those are like funnel cake fries. Matt Hayes was trying to
I just want to dag. I'm buying everybody around after this.
I love it. Let's go.
I might have been commissioned to do
Don't
that.
tease me.
Okay, I'm just saying. I'm diving all in. I just want to look. I'm going to stay here. I'll get off the air because I want to hog your airtime, but I'm going to stay and eat your food.
That's
okay?
fine.
We want you to. We encourage that. And we would keep you guys around, but we do have Ross Tucker waiting on the other side. We're going to talk to him about the offensive line. Gibby, since Frank hijacked your segment, we'll have to have you another time.
Gibby, I walked right into. But Gibby showed up. Honestly, Gibby showed up, bothering nobody, going to talk baseball, and this dumbass comes walking up and sits right down and starts doing all the talking. So
this was a tag team effort.
Yeah.
We're proud to do it.
Taylor and I love that. We've been tag teaming it all week. We really appreciate you both. We'll be listening later. Frank, and when's the next River City Hardball, Gibby?
So I do it as a podcast when the high school and college season's off, so I'll have one coming out on Friday.
All right, sounds good. You can check that out at 1010XL on all the social platforms. Ross Tucker on the other side right here on 1010XL 92.5 FM live from 1-to-1 Financial Ballpark.
Kingfish Pest Control Wednesday.
Helmets and heels.
Helmets and Heels. This hour is brought to you by First Coast Honda Dealers. He's nationally syndicated sports writer Matt Hayes.
And you might be.
And he's Jags beat writer Hayes Carline.
At least he got his name right.
Get more Hayes.
I gotta get me one of those.
Afternoons on 1010XL.
Did you know you can charge the all-new Honda Electric Prologue in the same receptacle as your phone? You don't need these special charging stations at your home. Simply plug in your Honda or your phone. See your local Honda dealer now. We're electrified.
Hey, Jacksonville, I'm sure by now you've seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We are an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We are committed to customer service, reliability, and have unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today. GFL, green for life.
Mia here, and you've heard me rave about my friends at Duck Duck Rooter, the #1 master septic contractor in all of Florida. But don't forget about Duck Duck Air Conditioning, the Jacksonville area's AC experts. Folks, the temperature has already turned up a notch this summer. Should your AC not be working at your home or business, Duck Duck AC can help. Call 904-862-6769.
Daly's Dash is not only your Jaguars game day stop, but a great place to grab a meal any day of the week. To honor the Jags and the fans, we've crafted the Duval Sub. The Duval comes with freshly sliced turkey, ham, melted cheddar, and habanero jack cheese, topped with crisp lettuce, fresh tomatoes, and a double portion of our secret sauce, all served on a fresh roll. Come by your local's Daly's Dash today to get your delicious Duval Sub. Daly's is the official convenience store sponsor of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Did you know a metal roof from Prime Roofing has the highest wind and impact ratings available? If you want a stronger roof, think metal. Think Prime Roofing. Learn more at primeroofingfl.com. That's primeroofingfl.com.
Imagine waking up this time next week and being 100% debt-free from credit cards, car loans, and personal loans. Hey, Prosser here. Loan Pronto's Equity Express line of credit can make it happen. Homeowners are turning their home equity into cash almost instantly. With Loan Pronto's AI-based system, you can get approval in about 10 minutes with almost no documentation, no appraisal, and no hassle. You can get hundreds of thousands of dollars out of your home. Use that money to pay off all your other loans. The average homeowner saves over $850 a month doing this. Listen, your home value's way up. You can use that to wipe out all those credit cards. Get some money for a home improvement. Literally hundreds of thousands are at your fingertips, and approval is just minutes away. So call now, 904-999-1508. 904-999-1508, or go to loanpronto.com. NMLS 1661781, subject to lender approval, equal housing lender.
When you want to be heard, send your opinion to the 1010XL text line, designed by Lifetime Enclosures.
Thank you for believing in me when the bosses didn't give me a chance.
641-1010. No texting and driving. Get your thoughts heard on 1010XL.
International soccer returns this summer. Don't miss your chance to see teams from the biggest league in the world in Jacksonville as they compete for the Stateside Cup. Be there when Premier League clubs Wolves and West Ham take the pitch July 27th at Everbank Stadium, home of the Jaguars. With the series trophy on the line, competition will be fierce. Tickets on sale now for as low as $35 at statesidecup.com.
Does the building you go to work in every day need a little love and attention? Jason Parker here with Performance Painting. Great companies take great care of the buildings their staff and customers walk into every day. If the building you're in doesn't match the vision you have for your company, we can help. Go to performance-painting.com. Our highly trained team makes the difference. Quality coatings applied with pride.
Performance Painting.
Kicking here with Zero Res. If you're like me, you like to sit on the sofa and recliners and watch a good game or show. You know, unwind down from the day. But sometimes TV time means food, drink, and a mess as well. That's why you need to have the Zero Res truck out and get that furniture looking great again. All of June, Zero Res offering 25% off all upholstery cleaning, 25% off a sectional, off a sofa, 25% off a love seat, 25% off your favorite recliner. Zero Res, man. You spell it forward, you spell it backwards. Zero Res. It's the right way to clean.
Matt, eating well can actually taste amazing with Awaken 180.
Exactly what Mike and I have been telling you, Hacker. It's all about discovering flavors that are as good for you as they taste.
I'm now down 70 pounds, and it's only been 3 months. No gym, no meds, just great food and fantastic coaching from Awaken 180.
Woo, baby. I told you so. Awaken 180 has changed the weight loss game. I saw Mike Dempsey drop his 25 pounds in a month, so I wanted in. You listeners know my results, but what we haven't shared is a ton of friends and family and listeners have jumped on board too. Their results? 100% success across the board.
Crazy to think there is a program that can work for everyone, but losing 70 pounds in 3 months proves the crazy is not so crazy. If you're listening and ready for fast results, expert coaching, and delicious food, Awaken 180 is the way to go. Head to awaken180weightloss.com and watch the weight melt off, starting with your very first week.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Let's ring up another guest on the All-Pro Roofing phone line.
This is Helmets and Heels.
Kept classy by First Coast Lighting and Fans. Upscale lighting, fans, and home decor.
On 1010XL.
Taylor Dahl and Lauren Brooks, we are live here at the Jumbo Shrimp game, leading 5-3 over the Nashville Sounds. RJ Saunders back at 1010XL headquarters, making it all happen. And we do welcome in Ross Tucker, host of the Ross Tucker Football Podcast. You can check him out at Ross Tucker NFL on social. Ross, thank you so much for joining us today.
Yeah, my pleasure. Nice to talk with you ladies again.
Absolutely. So I do want to get to the offensive line, but I want to start with the news that came out yesterday, the fact that the city council here in Jacksonville approved the stadium renovation with a 14-1 vote. When you saw that information come across, whether it's ESPN or other channels, what did you think?
Well, I was very, very excited for everybody listening right now. Very excited because, I didn't know how high of a percentage chance there was, but I did think that there was some percentage chance that if the NFL looked to expand the reach over to London, that Jacksonville would be that team. And so I don't know if I thought it was a 5% chance or 10% or whatever, but I certainly thought there was some possibility of that. And this kind of reinforces that that's definitely not happening, which I think is fantastic for all of you. And I also think, having done several games in that stadium, that it could use an upgrade. It could use a refurbishing. And so
yes.
I'm excited. I mean, it's funny. I know people get upset sometimes about public money going to certain things, and I understand that, but I would think the people that use it a lot would be happy about it, right? Like the people that go to all the Jags home games would be happy about it. If there are people that don't care about football at all and don't go, then that's a different story.
Yeah, Ross, it's something we've talked about a lot, obviously, for what feels like forever. And so to finally have this, the date, the year of when everything is going to be happening is very exciting for here in Jacksonville. But let's switch over to another one of the big topics that happened this offseason. A massive offseason. We found out about the stadium, and then also Trevor Lawrence, franchise quarterback, gets a contract and making him tied with Joe Burrow for the highest paid quarterback in the league. What were your thoughts on that contract when you saw it?
Well, so a couple things. It's really interesting because, as you guys know, I host the Ross Tucker Football Podcast every day during the season and 3 times a week in the off season. And so what jumped out to me is that, number one, before the contract even happened, talking with Greg Cosell from NFL Films, you know, he had made the point that he felt like we needed to lower our expectations for Trevor Lawrence, which I thought was an interesting thing to say. I guess his point was, after doing a lot of studying of Lawrence, is that he thinks he's a good quarterback, a talented quarterback, but not what people have made him out to be, right? You know, obviously he was the number 1 quarterback in the country, and then he went to Clemson and won a national championship as a true freshman, and then he was the number 1 pick, and people talked about him as if he was a generational quarterback, and I guess Cosell's point is he's not that. Like, he's not Mahomes, he's not Josh Allen or some of these guys from a talent perspective. So I thought that part of it was really interesting, and then Andrew Brandt was actually on today's Ross Tucker Football Podcast, and he came away from looking at Trevor's contract saying that it was the worst of all of the contracts that have been signed by quarterbacks in recent years in terms of the things that matter to him, which is cash flow. So, you know, it's one of those weird things where worst for Trevor means probably pretty darn good for the Jaguars. So they should be happy about it, I guess.
I don't know, Ross, if you were listening to the song that we played you in with, but that was Alanis Morissette. And the reason for that is because you said you've only bought 2 album CDs ever in your life, one of them being Jagged Little Pill.
Yeah, that's a fact. So I'm well, I'll tell you how. I'm 45 years old, and so when I first got into music, CDs weren't even a thing yet. You know, we would buy I think I bought a couple singles on cassette. Not many, though, like a couple. And then at some point, my parents got me like a Discman when I was in high school. So I had a Discman, which, by the way, is like a terrible thing to try to work out with because the CD like skips while you're jogging. It's like, what are we even doing here? It's unbelievable. Like, I can't believe the way we used to live. But so I bought the Rocky IV soundtrack, you know, to work out and whatever for football. And then I really liked Alanis Morissette, Jagged Little Pill. So I bought it, and that was it. I realized, first of all, I realized, number one, you can't really work out with it because it skips, so that's pointless. And then in terms of buying more CDs, like for my car, I just like the radio. Like I like going to like a top 40 station, or now maybe it's a pop station or a country station. I like not knowing what the next song is. If I'm on a station where I like a large percentage of the songs, I'm happy, and I prefer the surprise of not knowing. It's even the same way now, like with Spotify or whatever. Like, I'll do like Yacht Rock, okay, Yacht Rock Radio, and I don't know what song's gonna come up next, and it plays, and I'm happy. Like, I don't need to buy specific songs or CDs to play them. So that was it. That was the story. Alanis Morissette, Jagged Little Pill, and Rocky IV.
There we go. Well, we like the radio too, Ross. All right, I do want to ask you about the offensive line. Can it improve with just one position changing, and that is Mitch Morse replacing Luke Fortner?
Yeah, I think centers can make a pretty big deal overall because there's a couple of things, right? So Morse is a lot more athletic than Luke Fortner was, so that gives the Jaguars a chance schematically to do some things that they otherwise wouldn't be able to do. And then also, I do think there's something to a really experienced veteran center, especially one who's played in a bunch of playoff games, being able to get guys on the same page and making sure everybody knows who to block and is really comfortable with the blocking scheme. I don't know what Luke's deal was in terms of that. He might be fantastic for all I know. But I do think that is usually a pretty good benefit as well.
Ross, sticking with the offensive line, because a lot of the issues that we saw late in the season last year, obviously the bit of a collapse the Jags had, we attribute a lot of those to the offensive line just because they had a ton of issues when it came to run blocking, so the Jags were not able to run the ball, leading to a kind of predictable offense in third down situations and red zone situations. And then obviously Trevor got injured over and over and over again behind that offensive line too, leading to a ton of turnovers, fumbles, things like that. How much do you think that fixing, like she just said, maybe Mitch Morse and improving this line can also alter all of those other situations?
Well, I think the league and certain people within the league have told us recently that they think the offensive line is as important as any position in the league. I mean, it's really hard to function offensively on a consistent level if you're not getting at least average offensive line play. And so the Jags have invested a lot now. I mean, not only did they draft Cam Robinson, but then they gave him the contract. They traded for Ezra Cleveland, paid him. We mentioned Mitch Morse, the signing. We know how much money they've given Brandon Sheriff. And Anton Harrison, taking him in the first round. They put a lot into it because they realize just how important it is to the success or failure of an offense. So Doug Peterson saw that up close and personal when he was in Philadelphia, and they had probably the best line in the league, and it was a big reason for the success Doug had in Philadelphia.
All right, Russell, we really appreciate your time. Can't let you go without asking, are you enjoying filling in on the Dan Patrick Show? And also, what is the latest with myfrontpagestory.com?
Well, yes, it's been great. I'm done now. I filled in the last 3 days for Dan, and now I'm in traffic on the Garden State Parkway in New Jersey. I'm guest bartending at Jason Kelsey's event tonight to raise money for the Eagles Autism Foundation. So if you're following me on social media at Ross Tucker NFL, you might see some fun things on my social media: Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, whatever. Because I guess people donate $100 to chug a beer with you. So I don't know. I don't know how many beers I'm going to be chugging, but yeah, it should be fun. And then myfrontpagestory.com is just awesome. You guys, I talked to you about it last time. Yes. I think it was before Father's Day, but people get these things for loved ones all the time. It's anniversaries, it's weddings, it's birthdays. Today is actually my wife's birthday, so a great time to go to myfrontpagestory.com and put a loved one, give them the cover story treatment. It's the coolest, most unique gift pretty much you'd ever see. I highly encourage people to go to myfrontpagestory.com. At least check it out. Get on the email list so that when you want to do one for the holidays or Valentine's or Mother's Day, you'll get the email with the 20% off or whatever they'll give out at the time. myfrontpagestory.com.
All right, well, happy birthday to your wife, and have so much fun tonight. We know you can chug some beer, so have a great time.
Yeah, I'm not messing around. Thank you, ladies.
There he goes, Ross Tucker, at Ross Tucker NFL on social. And, of course, he's the host of the Ross Tucker Football Podcast.
Shrimp up 7-4 now.
That's right. Just had another triple. I think that's the third triple of the game today. So super fun day, 10-10 day out here at the ballpark. We'll give you a score update when we return. One segment to go here on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
It's Helmets and Heels, Kingfish Pest Control Wednesday.
This is Helmets and Heels.
This hour is brought to you by First Coast Honda Dealers. Tensions build.
3rd and 12. Let's go.
Plot thickens.
We got to get off the field.
Crowds roar. Tune in and let the show begin. Your home for live play-by-play is 1010XL.
Enter the Snickers Ice Cream Chill All Summer Sweepstakes for your chance to win a summer supply of Snickers ice cream, a meet and greet with our head coach, and a VIP training camp experience during Jaguars training camp. For more information, please visit jaguars.com/sweepstakes. The Snickers Ice Cream Chill All Summer Sweepstakes ends 11:59 on Monday, July 8th. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited. Must be 18 or older and a legal resident of Florida or Georgia. Promotional period is June 4th to July 8th. Total ARV of prizes is $14.20. Prize details and winner selection date specified in official rules. Sponsor Jacksonville Jaguars, LLC. 1 Everbank Stadium Drive, Jacksonville, Florida 32202. Odds of winning depend on total number of entries received.
Has someone you care about been arrested or had their driver's license taken away? I'm Susan Cohen, and I work with David Robbins at the law firm of Epstein & Robbins. We are experienced fighters for those charged with DUI, domestic violence, and all criminal offenses. In your battle with the justice system, there's only one thing you need to know. Dial David 24/7 at Epstein & Robbins, 354-5645. 354-5645.
AC replacement? If your AC unit is ready to go kaput, then it's time to call Florida Home AC. With over $3,000 in tax credits waiting for you on select systems, take advantage of it. Call 777-4300. Get Florida Home AC to cool you off.
An ACL tear can be a devastating injury with prolonged pain and rehabilitation. Hi, I'm Dr. George Bari. I'm a sports medicine orthopedic surgeon who grew up right here in Jacksonville and then went on to train with the world-renowned Dr. James Andrews. At Bari Orthopedics, we use the most current techniques to get you back in the field with less pain and quicker rehabilitation. We treat all types of sports injuries with the newest techniques available. Please call us for consultation or visit BariOrthopedics.com.
Find out more at BariOrthopedics.com. That's BAHRI Orthopedics.com.
Hey, it's Matt Hayes, and the XL Primetime crew will be live at the all-new Leonard Truck Outfitters this Friday, starting at 2. Tons of cool giveaways, including a new golf cart. Join us at Leonard Truck Outfitters on Beach Boulevard this Friday from 2 to 4.
Start your Sunday off with a cup of Joe and some sports medicine intel. This is Joe C. inviting you to join me and Dr. George Bari for Breaking Bones every Sunday morning at 7:30. And if you miss an episode, just look for Breaking Bones wherever you listen to podcasts.
How wide is the moon? The answer coming right up.
It's always a good idea to compare homeowners' insurance rates instead of renewing year in and year out. Log on to southernoak.com and get an instant quote in minutes.
Our family protecting yours. Southern Oak Insurance.
The moon is roughly 2,100 miles wide, about a 3-day drive.
Southern Oak Insurance. Our family protecting yours.
This weekend is going to be intense. The Ratify Credit Union Jacksonville Axemen are bringing the pain on Saturday. No pads, no helmets, just full contact action. Get there early. The Axe Women kick off at 5, the Axemen at 7. Tickets start at $10 and kids under 12 get in free. This might be your last chance to see Rugby League this summer. Visit jacksaxe.com for tickets and game information.
We've all been there before. A weekend trip to the casino? Canceled because real life came calling. MyBookie's new and improved online casino, though, is here to change the game. Mia here, and you can dive into a truly realistic casino experience featuring the latest in slots, progressive jackpots, and live dealer action, all from the comfort of your home. The live casino is so easy to use. I just go to mybookie.ag and click Live Casino at the top. You'll find live dealers ready to deal or spin, just like you're at the casino. The MyBookie Casino provides a Las Vegas experience where the action is in your hands, and yes, it's true, you do not even have to wear pants. Start at MyBookie today with a generous sign-up bonus using promo code 1010XL and a revamped loyalty program ensuring a host of exclusive VIP perks. Sign up and hit the casino with promo code 1010XL. The more you play, the more you win. Only with MyBookie. And don't forget that promo code 1010XL.
This is Pre-Tection. Yep, Pre-Tection. The everyday skin protection ritual that protects your skin from mosquitoes. Pre-barbecue. Pre-playground. Pre-everything. Pre-every day. Prevention is the best protection. This summer, make sure you have OFF, the #1 dermatologist-recommended repellent brand. SC Johnson, a family company.
Men, if you're suffering from erectile dysfunction or PE, Prime Men's Medical Center will get your sex life back in just one visit. Their painless, breakthrough medical treatments eliminate ED and PE. Here's a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Simovitz. Have Viagra or Cialis let you down? Prime Men's Medical Center offers the most effective treatments that eliminate ED and PE, with men lasting longer than ever. 98% of patients see instant results on their first visit.
Prime Men's Medical Center's breakthrough treatments will restore your sex life regardless of age or medical history. Your consultation and first treatment are free. Plus, you'll see instant results in the office. Plus, qualified patients will have their testosterone checked free. Call 904-902-8222. 904-902-8222. To regain your sex life in just one visit, call now. 904-902-8222.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Now the cool down with Donovan Air, Electric and Plumbing. Keeping Jack's cool since '87.
Well, Taylor Dahl, I'm going to cool down with these figures that Mark Long tweeted out about 45 minutes ago. Jaguars owner Shad Khan's total contribution to the city is roughly $1.3 billion with a B dollars, following his $625 million for the Stadium of the Future. The shipyards over $300 million. The community benefits agreement $119 million. Previous stadium upgrades over $100 million. Practice facility $80 million, which almost seems like a bargain right now. And the charity also over $30 million of philanthropy in the city. The fact that the city council approved it 14-1 last night, just now need the owners to approve it in October up in Atlanta, but I have full faith that that will happen, the 24 out of 32. And the Jaguars will have a fully renovated stadium by 2028. It is a day of celebration, and I've also really enjoyed being here at the Jumbo Shrimp game as they lead Nashville Sound 7-4.
Yes, I love it. Obviously, big baseball fan, so if I get to be at the baseball game while I'm working, this is just
this is heaven
fantastic. This is great. I know in the beginning of the show I mentioned Michael Meyer. He is the Michael Mayer. Sorry, he's the pitcher that started. Michael Myers is here. I would also love that. But he went 4 innings today. He struck out 4. Scott Kornberg did tell me he would be limited innings because, like I said, they sent him here to kind of rest his arm a little bit. So they expect like 3-4 innings. But he's one of the better prospects in Major League Baseball right now. So that's also fun. We got to see him. But then Soriano came in right after him and only allowed 2 hits during that time, but no runs to get out of that inning. So the last inning. So it's been a good game. If it keeps going, 7-4 win. The Shrimp have won, I want to say, 6 out of their last 8. So they're playing really good baseball recently in a division that's really difficult.
Well, we appreciate the Jumbo Shrimp for having us. Also, thanks to everyone from 1010XL who came out. It was awesome to see the different shows and salespeople, and we certainly appreciate the relationship we have with the Jumbo Shrimp, just like we appreciate the relationship we also have there across the street with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Like Frank said, you'll hear from Shad Khan, you'll hear from Mayor Deegan, and you'll hear from Mark Lamping and Mike Weinstein all in the 5 o'clock hour. Hayes Carline caught up with all of them, and we do appreciate all of our guests today, especially Frank Frazier and Andrew Gibson. That is going to do it for us. Stay tuned to XL Primetime. They are coming up next. For the vacationing Mia O'Brien, for Taylor Dahl, for RJ Saunders, for John O'Leary, our engineer here, I'm Lauren Brooks. These heels are made for talking, and we will talk to you tomorrow.
When you ought to be a change.